Are you having issues with writing a book, or much less just writing anything in general? Would you like to publish books and not have to worry about that barrier of entry? What about you?
Sure.
Seems like a pretty reasonable thing here. So in any event, today we're going to discuss how to publish books on Amazon without any writing skills. So make sure that you stay
tuned.
Welcome to Self-Publishing with Dale
and Kelly.
And if you're new here and you want to learn how to publish your books and build your brand, make sure that you hit that little subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you don't miss a single live broadcast every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So where we get a chance to connect with people live here. So make sure you get your butts on over to YouTube so we can chat with you. So today we're going to be talking about publishing books with no writing skills, which that's your wheelhouse, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's, how much do you enjoy writing?
No. Just about as much as riding donkeys.
Riding donkeys. I don't know. That seems like that might be fun. But nonetheless, for those of you that are watching this on the replay, give us 1 minute. We need to make sure we're saying hi, what's up to the people that are in the chat. So you may have to flash forward about 1 minute. So, all right. So who do we have here in the house?
Mojo, Katrina, Mark Brownless, let's see, Stephen Martin, Risa Faye, Not Anna Jones, and special shout out to anyone who has come to my stream and then came to Dale's stream. So yeah.
Yeah, you guys can see her energy level, which was like this high earlier, is down here. So we need to make sure we get her energy drinks before she comes on to these live chats. So what do you guys got going on? Corey Burns, good to see you. Lisa Marie J, good to see you. You were actually in her broadcast earlier.
From the beginning.
Firm L, good to see you. Anybody that's new here, and if you're lurking about, I want to pull you out. I want to say, hey, get active. If you're new here, put #new in the comments right now. And this goes for you replay people. If you didn't skip forward 1 minute, I'm calling you out. So, all right, well, I said 1 minute. It's good to see Kim here is in the house. It's good to see you. Everybody, you guys get triple banana stickers. Triple banana stickers. All right, so what's shaking, Stephen Markin? It's good to see you here. All right, so we've got a lot of ground to cover. And as you see, we've kind of went to the simplified format again today. As a fair warning, next week, you got to skip next Thursday. We won't be here next Thursday. So absence makes the heart grow fonder. So hopefully you will be joining us the week after next when we return. But
I won't be here.
Excuse me, sneezed. Wow, that's the first
I'll be with my friends at the Summit of Greatness, and then awesome. The following week we'll be in LA. So
it's going to be a very interesting. So stay tuned here. So next week, take a break. Enjoy. We're going to probably have some pre-tapes that are going to fire off. All right, so today let's talk a little bit about publishing your books without much writing skills, if any writing skills whatsoever. So in any event, let's give a little bit of preface and context. Tell people, Kelly, what are we planning on talking about here? Are we talking about, like, if they're crappy writers, that they should write crappy books?
Well, there are some of those out there.
Yes.
However, if you always wanted to publish a book, or if you're trying to make some money, but you see this self-publishing thing, don't think you have to know how to write to make those dollar bills. So that's what this means. It's not putting out crap, but that's what we're going to be talking about.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that people understand and get this in the right context, that we're not saying, hey, crappy writers, write more crappy books. No, we're saying that if you're kind of like Kelly, she doesn't like to write much, some of these ideas are going to grease the wheels, and some of you have already heard us refer to some of these products, notice I said some of them, as no content books or low content books. But this isn't going to be the same old tired message and you guys are like, oh, we've heard this stuff before. We're going to share some stuff that's going to send your eyebrows and hopefully grease your creative wheels and get you going. Hey, who just came into the house? Oh my goodness. Good to see you there, Keith Wheeler. Glad you joined because I was able to fire that one off. All right, so What's happening to all the new people? We're going to make sure to acknowledge every single one of you as we go through, after we go through all this. We've got about 8 really good tips, and we got a bonus tip. If anybody wants to know the bonus tip, let us know inside the comments. Here we go. Picture books. Tell me about picture books, Kelly.
Take some pictures and put it in a book.
It's really super simple, actually.
There's not much more to say.
Yeah, a good friend of mine in the channel here, and he's probably sleeping right now, Kevin McGuire, actually, he and I had, when I started working with him coaching, and he's a photographer, and he actually has great pictures and has a love of photos. And here's the beautiful thing. If you like to take pictures, guess what? There's no writing whatsoever, and there are a lot of people out there, and there's still great demand for excellent picture books. I would really recommend, though, if you do picture books, keep your DPI high, going like 300 DPI or greater, because if it ends up being printed out on, like, say, a print book, it looks real grainy, and if you have it like a 72 DPI, so just fair warning. Picture books, I mean, hey, everybody's got an iPhone or an Android of some sort with some great cameras. Go out, snap some shots, put together something with nature or things like that. So picture books are just an excellent way to do it, and I have actually a few of them that pull me in with a small chunk of change on the monthly.
And talk to your accountant if you do some travel to take those photos about some tax write-offs.
Yeah. So that's one of the great ways to do it. All right, so next up here, tell me a little bit about coloring books. What's the deal with this stuff anyways?
It's a book you color in.
Well, coloring books? This is foreign to me.
There's many ways to do it. If you want to draw, if you want to do something with Illustrator, or there's other programs out there. We all know what coloring books are.
I know.
Just be creative.
Gee, somebody really needs to take the vinegar out of her. Let's take it from the intensity from here down to here. She woke up, everybody. Yeah, so you can also, if you're not very artistic, you can always hire out. I know Keith Wheeler can speak on this, to where he was actually able to, I can't say Keith Wheeler without putting the Keith Wheeler gif up here, especially since the Nicholson twins are in the house. Keith actually was able to broker a deal with an artist that he was able to put out really great book, a children's book with art in it. So hopefully Keith share a little bit, which, by the way, folks, Keith Wheeler, excellent channel. I can't say this enough. All right. The coloring books thing, like, gee whiz, get the bee out of your bonnet. All right. This one, actually, Kelly and I were having just sushi not too long ago, and we had brought this up. So tell me a little bit about this.
I have not done research to this. It was just something that came to my head when I was having sushi. It's like fill in the blank when it comes to art books, like sketchbooks. Like, if you're an artist, draw half of it, or draw someone's, a blank head, and then people can write in it, or, maybe if you go to beauty school, I don't know if they use those, or, whatever you can do. Think of careers that are artistic and what might they want to need for a notebook.
Yeah, and even from a standpoint, actually, I had put out a children's book of some sort, to where it actually had the figures, and it was draw a face of a clown, draw a bird on the tree, things like that. So you can think of art prompt books of all walks. So next one up, this one, Kelly, you can probably speak a little bit on this one for sure.
It is a higher barrier of entry, and you have to be aware there are a lot of, like, word search, crossword, other types of puzzle makers online that you cannot use for commercial use. So you just have to be very careful. But word search puzzle books are so popular. Just go down your magazine aisle at the store, and you can get some ideas of different types of puzzles. And people who love puzzles want to just consume all the time. So it's a reoccurring source of income. I actually have some puzzle books that I made, had a VA make actually around Vid Summit last year, and I still make sales. So
yeah, and you're going to find a lot of really great ideas when you go into your bookstores, or even say your grocery store. So like Kroger's is right down the road from us, and they have a whole section of magazines, and that'll give you some great ideas. So those of you that are listening to this on the podcast, this is puzzle books. I was trying to get it out of you, but all right, so this one right here is a very interesting one, and you're going to probably have to do your due diligence on it. It's music notation. Now, we've mentioned before blank sheet music, but there's also still public domain music out there that if you're able to find and get the rights to something like this, literally it's just going to be a case of, if somebody wants to have, a particular classical piece and it's available for public domain, remember that if it is public domain, you got to make sure that you say that through where you're publishing it. So if it's KDP print, you got to make sure that you fully disclose something like that. Music notation is definitely something I think is overlooked quite a bit. In fact, I put out some blank sheet music before and had pretty good results. I get a small chunk of change on that one as well. And the funny thing is, it's just, there's really not too much competition compared to if you look at something like the blank line journals. Like everyone and their mother's doing it. Even my mom is doing it, by the way. So think a little bit outside the box. If some of you are finding that you're not getting the traction that you want to within your no content book business, think of these type of options here and start to get those, really think about what can you do that's going to differentiate you away from the rest of the pack. All right, this one right here, I'm going to take this one. Hopefully you don't mind. You've actually, today, you described this, but it's transcribing, okay? If you're not a very good writer, but you can speak and you can articulate it in a way that you can communicate your message, this could really be a big win for you. So share with some of the people, you discussed this on your live earlier today. How did you write your book on how to be a vegan?
I didn't tell them how. I just said I had vegan books out there and I shared my pen name.
Oh, okay. Okay, so just as a little bit of a backstory here, so Kelly was able to do it this way. I actually had a good friend of mine. He did an entire fiction brand based on just being in his car. And also the world famous magician, Adam Wilber. He actually is creativity consultant as well as he's been on Fool Us with Penn and Teller, and here's the really cool thing. I've actually interviewed him on this channel and have the interview over on Facebook.com on my business page. He wrote this whole book driving in his car, speaking to his phone. He only had rough bullet points of what he wanted to say. He took the whole thing together, transcribed it, sent it to an editor, had them make it look really good. And I'm going to tell you this is a professional, really good book. You would never known that someone actually talked it through. And it's a beautiful example of the power of voice. And you don't need to have Dragon Naturally Speaking. If you do, that's great, that's awesome. I've written books as well through just simply using Google Docs. I open up Google Docs, I put the mic on. It's a little bit more difficult, but it's fairly, close to what you want. Every now and then it's like, I didn't say banana pepper, I said come home.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you're new to that, try it out and see what the outcome is, because you might have to play with it, say stuff more distinctly.
Yeah.
You'll just learn very quickly. Just don't ramble off for a 30-minute dissertation and then learn that, oh gosh, I was mumbling half the time.
Yeah.
So just a tip on that.
Yeah, a good friend of ours, Kevin, and I'm going to give a big shout out to Kevin S. Allen. Kevin, God bless him. I love you, buddy. He sends me, I swear to you, it had to have been like 40,000 words, if not 100,000 words. He sends it to me. There was zero punctuation. He just sent me the raw file, and I was like, I'm not reading this. He's like, no, you'll get the idea. Just read it. I'm like, no. It gave me a headache about one paragraph in, which is the entire thing. So just be prepared that you actually, when you're doing some of the voice dictation, you will have to say period, exclamation point. But if you use services like cheap plug, rev.com, you can literally just record it and you can send it on over to them. They do it about $1 per minute, and you can go over to our affiliate link at sellpublishingwithdale.com/rev and get $10 off your first purchase. Had to get that cheap plug in there. All right, folks, moving forward. This one actually is Kelly's suggestion.
Cookbooks. Legally, the ingredients cannot be copied, but the directions are someone's expressions, so they are copied.
Yes.
So,
yeah, so don't make that mistake. You don't copy someone's directions.
And so you can either write your own from recipes that you do at home, or you can change it around a little bit. This is not legal advice, so go with it as you wish.
Yeah.
But yeah, cookbooks. And
you can always just pair this together with something as simple as recording this and having it transcribed, cookbooks, because I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that have a lot of recipes. I know I'm one that I've got tons of recipes I can just whip out. It's just because of years of being able to do that. I'm able to kind of, oh, well, yeah, that's right. I forgot I can do this recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's mine. I'm going to do writing prompts. Actually, I have quite a few books that I do decently well with writing prompts. I know it's writing technically, but once again, we're going to go back to the well when it comes to if you find that you're not a great typer, just writing prompts can be something as simple as this. It could be like, write a story with somebody in the grocery store and they drop a bottle of wine. Happened to us today. Different things like that. And writing prompts don't always have to be like that. It could be something motivational, inspirational, things like that. So think about writing prompts as something very, very simple that you can start to incorporate into your self-publishing portfolio. Hey, we burned through 8 pretty good ones, but I've got a bonus one. Only if you want it. I want to hear if people want this bonus tip. So let me say, I want it. Like literally caps, all caps. I want to see some seriously people screaming in here. I want it. What other suggestions do you have for publishing with no writing skills?
Guest!
Our guest is in the house.
Yeah. She's like my favorite person.
Yes. Jesse, it's good to see you. So do you want it? Say, I want it. And scream it. I want to see all caps on this. Let's go back through a little bit of the chat. I want to see who all is in here. Since then, I've seen a few hashtag news. Not Anna Jones is new here. Mage Bell is new from Spain. Hi from Spain. Well, it's great to see somebody from Spain popping in here. Ronnie Barnes, what's shaking? I'm glad you joined us today, Ronnie. The lady writes, thanks for hyping. I appreciate that, Katrina. Keith Wheeler. Mickelson twins are in the house. Has anybody picked up their course yet? The Audiobook Income Academy. Definitely would love to know that. By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go over to selfpublishingwithdale.com/twins. That's right. And you can go ahead and take a look and see what they got there. I'm going to tell you this. Them boys have always got something good. All right, so Bad Libs. I like it, Corey. I like that. How you doing, Corey? Haven't talked in a minute.
Fill in the blanks for adults.
Fill in the blanks.
I like that. Or Kim was talking about an adult recipe book. Could you do like a twist on an adult recipe book with some curse words? I don't know. Like Dirty Granny does?
Possibly. Somebody said, I want it. That was Jesse. I want it. I'm glad you did it in caps and a question mark. I want it. Stephen Martin, he's like, I'm not going to shout. It's not classy. It's okay, dude. You can shout. Nafis, I want it. What's up, Nafis? It's good to see you. You just kind of slipped right on in there. 22 people. Where's you tired everybody out earlier today. Come on now.
I should have went longer. I had nothing to talk about.
E.S. Hart says, I want it. Keith Wheeler says, I want it. Fernell says, I want it. Corey Burns says, I want it. Mark Brownless. Jan Marie says, I want it. Yes. All right, so before we do that, today's word of the day. Put this in a sentence to prove that you made it this far. Big shout out to the twins. This is their idea. Typically, they got themselves a secret word, but I'm going to give you a nerd word. Cathartic. Define or use. I should say that again. Define and use this word in a sentence. Cathartic. So let's hear what you got right there. Drop it on in there. If you're watching the live chat, I want to hear what that is. It seems like everybody wants this bonus tip. Now, before I jump into that, I do need to preface this one. It's not going to be so much to put on the Amazon Marketplace. You can do it if you have a vendor account. But if any of you are in my Facebook group, you'll discover this. I got to push the right thing. Calendars. I actually put out a challenge. Lulu is hosting a contest right now, and it's for putting together your own calendars, and you got to submit it. It's free to do it, and if you end up putting a calendar that they choose, they're going to end up publicizing it and get behind it. I'm going to tell you, Lulu is really indie author centric. They get behind a lot of the people that publish through their platform. So I highly recommend you get the opportunity. Make sure you head over to our Facebook group with Self-Publishing Books. I actually have it somewhere. You can just type in Lulu and it'll pull it on up. It'll give you the contest information. I'm actually going to submit mine within the next day or so, if not by next week. It's going to have a lot of the motivational, inspirational type memes and such. So, alrighty, so that is pretty much today's content, and we want to take the rest of the time to talk to people in the live chat.
Corey
so if you happen to be
Burns, you're hilarious. Sorry.
If you happen to be listening to this on the podcast or you're watching this on the replay, please, I encourage you to stick around because a lot of people ask a lot of great questions after we're done with the initial content. So with that being said, what was Corey Burns saying?
Hitting stupid coworkers can be cathartic.
Hitting stupid coworkers can be cathartic.
I don't even know what the word means. Just
banana sticker for you, my friend. Cathartic for sure. It's I'd like to see some other ones before I give my own. Popping pimples is cathartic. Risa Faye, you're gonna get a banana sticker, but I'm gonna take that banana sticker back away from you because let's see here. I have all the confidence Mickelson twins can generate an adult cookbook. Yeah, probably. Actually, there was what was the name of the one irreverent cookbook series that it was like Ghetto Cookbook or something like that? I forgot. Thank you very much for the subscribe, Kyla. I appreciate you joining us. I'm not sure if you're live here, but if you happen to be live here, make sure you drop something inside the comments. Boy, it doesn't seem like they're popping too much today. We have a little over 20 people, and Katrina called you guys out. There's 22 people and 9 thumbs up. Please? Yeah, so any questions, concerns, and comments? Well, I know we went through a lot of the content pretty quickly here today, folks. It was so funny I couldn't stop laughing. Kim here, I need to visit your channel. Yes, Kim here is always active as ever. All right, writing is a cathartic exercise. Agreed. For me, I don't know about her.
I still don't understand the definition.
It is cathartic to see the income roll in. Well,
exciting?
I can't. Don't give it away. Then people won't, participate. Running over that traffic warden was so cathartic. Traffic warden. That's amazing. I say that purely as a fiction writer, of course. Mark, I'm glad you said that. It's for sure. Marijuana cookbook could be a big thing for the right person. Believe it or not, actually, that niche is off the chain right now. There is a lot of great stuff on cannabis that's pulling in some decent change. So if you are comfortable in writing the content and putting it out, for sure. I know I actually had a coaching student at one point or another had even brought up another one that I had did a little bit of research on called Kratom. That's Kratom, and different from cannabis, obviously, but it's another one that's just a real hot niche. So those of you that are considering that, by all means, which, by the way, my one coaching student, I don't want to give away your name or anything else like that, but it is a fairly hot niche right now. Oops, smash. Phew, I made it. Taking my seat with a thumbs up and a share. Beauty Bubble, it's good to see you. Of course, now chat's starting to die down. Kelly did an 1.5-hour stream earlier, so she's running on fumes. Running on fumes and sushi.
I did a stream yesterday too because I was going through withdrawals, so It was fun. A few more suggestions by the Lady Writes for
good.
no content books.
Let's hear it.
Task lists, shopping, grocery planning books, and asking local businesses if they need something original that caters to their company. The latter one, Katrina, the Lady Writes, have you had any success? I know with merch, people do that all the time, but with notebooks, never really considered it. You could always do, if a business needs a workbook or, training modules or anything, they could save time potentially. Yeah. I don't even know what they do. I haven't trained in a new job for 7 years, but I don't know if they even use training guides anymore. But if they do, it might save them time from Xeroxing stuff,
That's very smart. That's thinking outside the box, Katrina. So if some of you are comfortable with it and approaching businesses, or some business owners, this could be another way that you can, put out some products. And the nice thing is you already got the proof of concept. So the nice thing is you don't have to do too much work in order to see a good turnaround on it. I would say that you at least make it worth your while. So if they end up purchasing it, try to get it a good, reasonable price point that they get a price break, but you also can make a little bit of a profit for your time and energy. ES Hart, I saw your Publish Drive video, went over to check them out, and found they were just an ebook site. Oh, no, it's not just an ebook site. yes, they just do ebooks. They're not print books, but I did give them a gentle nudge by email today, because I did hear a couple people that were like, hey, they don't have print books? No, they don't have print books yet. Hang in there. Publish Drive's got some really cool things cooking on the front burner that you're going to hear about soon. I can't say mum's the word on my part. I am bringing one of their spokespeople to this channel at the very beginning of October to share a little bit more insights about the direction of Publish Drive and what they are going to be doing, as well as what they're planning on offering. Yeah, I wish there were more sites that had print-on-demand paperback services because of no content books. Look into Lulu. Don't sleep on them. They really have some great stuff out there. And worst case scenario, I know that this isn't probably the most popular suggestion. It's Ingram Spark. Ingram Spark puts out some great quality content, but the problem is, of course, you have to pay for an upload fee and an ISBN. So just know that ahead of time. However, if you've got the market and you know the demand is there, it's probably worth the investment. And if you haven't uploaded on Ingram Spark yet, there are plenty of codes out there for first-time uploads completely waived as far as the fee, but you still need to cover the ISBN. Just food for thought.
And there's always Etsy and your own store, but I don't know, ES, how much customer service you really want to do. So that's just what it would all entail. From my experience, Amazon provides the highest royalties, but sticking with one company, well, we know how that works.
There's also Redbubble too. We've suggested some of these for print-on-demand companies. Redbubble actually does do different types of print-on-demand books, and actually I ended up putting out a journal. I want to order it here pretty soon, but since we're going to be going out and we're going to be traveling, I'm just going to wait till we're done and we're back. Eating my body weight in cake for lunch was cathartic. Kim here.
I need to eat my body weight in pizza. That's a good idea.
Jan Marie Kelly, she's got a good suggestion.
Project planners. Pretty much, I always tell people, look at your own niche and what you know and what your family knows, and you'll be surprised on what you find. Because usually if there's a product that you'll like, I might be weird, but I know products I like other people would like too. So yeah. Garden
planners, that's a good one actually. That I sell a decent amount of garden planners. That was actually one that was recommended to me by my brother. Those of you know him as Bionic Vapor. He told me, I was like, nah, no one would want it. He was right. Score books. Kudos to you there, my friend Nafis. There you go. Yep, I have a growing custom list of logbooks, student planners, and tracking manuals. Good stuff. Tracking, it's funny. You can think of just about any type of tracking log. Everything from, and this is going to sound crazy, bowel movement trackers to fitness trackers, things like that. And here's the thing: is you can make it simplistic as you want to with something that's blank or lined, but I think those that get the banana sticker are going to be the ones that go the extra distance, that do a little bit more within those interiors. Because here's the thing: is we can say it. Let's call it as we see it. It's becoming really saturated. I hate saying that, but it is. Everyone is pumping out all these lined journals, and there's not enough people out there that are differentiating themselves from the pack. So take a little bit of extra time and work on those interiors and make something completely unique for the market so people are more enticed to buy your product. John Wasser just got done designing 3 new holiday t-shirts. 2 for Thanksgiving, 1 live, 1 roasted turkey, and 1 says, have a cool Yule and a frantic first. Old hippie expression, wreath and kraken. Cool, good stuff. Yeah, he's keeping that stuff pumping out. I do that too, Kelly. Pizza's life. There you go. That's your next shirt.
No, I would have had pizza today if it wasn't for rush hour.
Yeah. We decided to go get something a little after 4 because I was having to work on all this. This is an out there question. Have you ever approached a business to write a book for them? Maybe a fiction book about their product manufacturing, relationships between departments, etc. Beauty Bubble, that's once again, it's a very unique concept, or even for that matter, those of you that are looking to crowdfunding or alternative ways to bootstrap your way to producing a title, you can always even reach out to local businesses and say, hey, I'd be happy to offer you a sponsorship of this book for X amount of dollars for you to be featured in my book, one-page spread. Now, you're going to probably want to consult a good lawyer to make sure everything looks rock solid and it's airtight, because remember, this is going to be a book that's going to be on the market hopefully forever. So make it worth your while. Don't go over to a business and be like, $10, you'll get a placement. No. Think realistically what it's going to be worth for them to invest in it to get that kind of a placement there. Baby feeding schedule. Yes. People are getting banana stickers like crazy today. Yeah. Home repairs. Another good one. Pet vet info logbook. Love it. Beauty bubble. Go ahead.
An idea would be Behind the Kisses, a fiction story about those make chocolates.
About those that make chocolates? Yeah. Huh?
If that floats your boat
Yeah.
and interests you, go for it. I know me and my, hatred of writing, I ain't doing that. But if it, makes you happy and if you think you can earn a few bucks, go on with your bad self.
Yeah, absolutely. Beauty bubble, I offered to do whatever kind of writing some companies have been interested in. So far, that hasn't yielded fiction requests. It's a little out there, but I wouldn't shoot it down altogether if it somehow creatively works into a person's business model. Because you look at someone like, say, Daryl Eves, who does YouTube videos, and he works with brands and brand deals with influencers, and they create outside the box thinking. In fact, Daryl Eves was one of the ones that was on the project with the Harmon brothers that created the Squatty Potty unicorn poop commercial. And that's really outside the box thinking. But the thing is it became viral. So I think that if you've got a great idea, try to put it all together before you go pitch it to a business. So that way people they have no way to say no. They're like, oh my gosh, this is so freaking off the chain awesome. I think that this is beautiful. And the nice thing is, remind people if you're approaching some kind of a business, the opportunity for them to have their business advertised essentially for free and even at a profit through a large online retailer such as Amazon, and hopefully further indexed through larger search engines like Google. So that's your other value proposition that you can step forward with when you're speaking to business owners, because they need to kind of know what's in it for us, what's in it for me. So if you're coming in there and be like, I'll write a fiction book for you, they're gonna be like, get out of here. But if you go into it and saying, okay, this is what I can do, this is the exposure I can bring to your brand, and this is how I'm going to be able to really think outside the box and bring even more eyes than what we would normally do passively with zero marketing and promotion. Keith Wheeler says, when you make a unique interior, put an image of the interior on the back cover so the potential buyer can see the difference. Like it, Keith. I like it. Yeah. This is awesome. It's good stuff. So we burned through a half hour rather quickly, and it's sad to say that we're going to start to wrap things up. We're going to be taking a small hiatus. Next week, we're going to probably have our normal pre-tapes. Absence will hopefully help that heart grow fonder, and more of you will return to our normally scheduled program. I'll probably send it out via email, or you'll know inside the Facebook group, which, speaking of, if the internet access is treating us well wherever we're at, we might pop in from time to time over at the Facebook community. So you may want to do that and get into self-publishing books. And let me go ahead, I'm going to drop this in here. You just got to look up self-publishing books on Facebook, and I want to see if this command actually works. Did it work? It didn't work. Darn it. There it is. Hooray! So it just popped up in the chat. So if you haven't joined the group yet, or if you've tried the group and you haven't gotten in yet, one thing I would recommend, you go into the group, you got to ask to come in, and there's 3 magic questions. Please answer those 3 questions or we deny admission. I've got quite a few moderators and admins right now that I've told them strict rules. You have to answer it. It's so we make sure we keep the spammers out, people that just want to come in and link dump and not actually add anything to the community. That community is off the chain right now. How can people find you, Kelly?
Well, I wanted to answer Corey real fast.
Okay.
That is an amazing idea for your wife's daycare. And yeah, definitely recommend getting that out sooner than later. My wife does daycare and has a background in social work. I'm going to have her do a no content organizational book for daycares, menus, nap schedules, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And then if you can go even further and market it to other daycares, maybe you've already thought about that, or maybe it's just for your wife's daycare. That could be a potentially really good income as well, because people are always going to need them. It's not just a one and done.
Yeah. There's so many daycares out there, and I mean, maybe this is privately owned and they might have numerous other locations, so this can actually benefit them. The nice thing is if you actually take care of yourself, you might end up taking care of more people. So I have actually quite a few journals that are sitting over on my desk and trackers, because I was literally just fulfilling my own need when I put it out. And the nice thing is there's other people purchasing it, so I took care of myself at the same time taking care of other people. So that's the whole thing when it comes to some of the no content book publishing, or when you're publishing books with no real writing skills needed. You can really hopefully cover someone's needs.
Yes, but to answer your question, you asked me like 3 minutes ago, where can you find me? Kelly Publish on YouTube's. That's Kelly with an I.
Awesome, very good. Well, hey, if you enjoyed today's video, folks, make sure that you click that little thumbs up here on YouTube and share it with somebody else who would enjoy it too. In the meantime, in between time, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale
And Kelly.
and we will see you in about a couple weeks.